Right, welcome back to the Coach Approach. It's your coach Blake, the Black Faker, and today, we're going to be looking
It's like
at
that. Some
a
games that are so long.
Platinum
Okay.
2 game here. And with that in mind, we're going to be looking at a Platinum 2 jungle game here. I'm going to be recording my coachings a little bit more often, as I said before. Not everybody wants to be recorded, so it's not going to be every single session. But if you guys would like free VODs, it's every Sunday in my Discord. Make sure you join, and I do free VOD reviews every Sunday. If you guys would like free coaching sessions, you'll have to get us to 200 subscribers. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get started. All right. Go ahead and say what you said. You said you had a pattern when you play.
Yeah, like I usually the route of my jungle starts with red, then to Krugs, then Raptors, Wolves, and blue. Okay. But sometimes I can start from. Oh, okay.
I just realized my sound is coming out the wrong hole. All right, let me go ahead and do that. There we go. That's better. Okay, because it was coming out my speakers, and there's no way that I can hear it.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back. Continue what you were saying, and then we'll talk about what the hell just happened there.
Okay. Let's go. I don't remember.
Okay. So you're saying you path pretty much the same every game.
Yeah, or I could go with Raptors if an invade happens or something, or Wolves.
Okay, I got you. All right. So let's just kind of see this, and then we'll talk about your pathing in general.
Okay.
Was this just like a planned invade, or was like, oh, they're actually right there?
I think it wasn't planned. It was like, oh, okay, they're there.
Okay. Oh, okay. We got the
flash. I was flaming that when he grabbed the sun.
Oh man. Okay. I mean, the bright side is they don't really know where you're gonna start because it happened so early. You still have a chance to go to whatever side you want to go to. But when you're pathing, you always want to make sure that you path to a side for a reason. So always make sure you path to a side for a reason. So what we want to do is we want to basically analyze top, mid, and then bot. This is going to help us figure out what side we actually path to. And then obviously the jungle matchup will also be a factor in how you path. For starts though, I would rather just have you focus on what side we path to because of the lane rather than the jungle. And then when you get better at that, you're like, okay, I know how to do this. I know the most effective. I can start pathing because of what the jungle is doing.
I usually think what their jungler will do. Like if he begins with blue or red, I will go like at the opposite side so I can steal it or something like that.
And the problem with that is that play only is a what's what I'm looking for?
Like
it's only an instant reward. It's not really something that will benefit you later. You know what I mean? If you make that path to steal that buff, you got the buff. Congratulations. But does that buff win you the game? You know what I mean? And so when you do path, when you do want to start doing things, you got to be thinking kind of like the long run. Okay, this path right, just as an example, okay? So I know that Irelia on the enemy team is going to go all in at level 2. It's probably better for me to maybe just do Wolves, Raptors, Red, into kind of just chilling at Krugs, and then just kind of seeing if anything happens. Now, obviously, that path isn't optimal. It's just an example of like how you would want to change it based off, that's going to happen. So you have to be there. And that is going to be a long-term reward because once you gank, Irelia is going to be behind, and then your laner doesn't have to be as scared because Irelia can't really do much if she's behind. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And so that's how junglers usually think. There's a lot of factors into it, and of course, it takes time to learn all of them. But you'd want to start small, and you want to make sure that anything that you're doing has a long-run effect, which is why players always say, fight for objectives, only fight for objectives, because those objectives do things later. You getting one kill might not do anything, especially if you die for it. You know what I mean? Same thing with the buff. You steal a buff, it's not going to do much. Now, for like something like a Karthus, or I think Karthus is like the only mana starved like jungler at the moment. Karthus, if you take his blue buff, he's fucked. But he always starts blue, so it doesn't matter. If you take his red buff, he doesn't use red buff for anything. except like healing, but that's it. Like a Lee Sin, you
Yeah.
take his red buff though, he can't really gank that well, right? So it has to be a specific reason to lead to something else.
Okay.
So let's see. Whenever you make a choice to do something, have a long-term effect. So for an example, I'll just give you a quick question, and we're gonna see if you can tell me the answer to this, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's say I'm playing Hecarim. I start my blue buff. So let's just say I'm here. So I'm here. I start my blue buff, and I know you're starting your blue buff. We know this.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if you're going to take my red buff. But you're like, well, I know Hecarim started top. I know this guy full clears. And I know that I can take his red buff. Right? So that's information. He's Hecarim. He is going to 100% full clear. And I'm going to take his buff from him.
Okay.
He doesn't know this, and he sees that his buff is gone. You go back and you, of course, continue to clear. So he had no clue until he sees that it's gone.
Yeah.
What is the long-term effect that you do? Is there even one? You taking his red buff, what does that do? Is there a long-term effect for that?
I don't think so.
Right, because he's full clearing. Who full clears and ganks? They back, and then they go back on the map, no? Or they get crab, if anything. So it doesn't really matter. And then, of course, if you do take his buff, only and skip a Grom and then go top and he checks your Grom, he gets a camp back. So essentially, you didn't really even do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So you really do want to try to have like that down pat. Now, if you were like, all right, I'm playing Lee Sin and I take his red buff. I know his red buff timer. So next time he's on that damn red buff, I can catch him and kill him. Big difference, no?
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like I can actually take advantage of that. And so that's why you see, especially in Challenger, especially in Grandmaster, Master's a little iffy, but and then of course in LCS, like, or just pro play, like the way that they play their jungle is not the same as you would see every single game from game to game on a champion, whether it be in your elo or just on a streamer stream. You'll be like, they're doing this weird path. For what? They went blue into wolves and they ganked? Who does that? Like, they do a lot of weird stuff, but they have a reason. And so if you really want to get good at jungle, if you really want to get that diamond, because I know you're plat, and by now you know a lot of stuff. So if you really want to hit diamond, it's really about being very aware of what you're thinking and then why you're doing something. You cannot do something and just really not have an answer of why. So when we're going through this game, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on like, why did you do that, right? And I want you to tell me the honest opinion. Sometimes people are like, I have no fucking clue. And obviously it's good that you're being honest, but it's bad that you don't know, because why did you do it then? How do you improve if you don't know what you're doing anyway? So, all right. So let's go ahead and analyze this here together. All right. So top, mid, and bot. We need to know who has priority. When we say priority, we just want to know who's going to be probably the one shoving the most in these lanes. So when we look at Gangplank, and
I think that top lane.
Yeah, who do you think is going to push?
Gangplank.
So you think Gangplank's going to be the one to outpush the Ornn here?
Yeah.
Okay. So within that in mind, what ability does Gangplank take at level 1?
I don't know. Does it take this range? Is it Q?
Yeah, takes his Q. You don't have to actually name the letter if you don't want. You could just be like the fucking shot, like, But yeah, he'll normally take that, right? What does Ornn take usually?
Q.
It's not his Q. It's not his Q.
Really?
W? Yeah, it's W. Yeah, his Q is the thing that like shoots that and it like comes up here. His W is like the fire breath.
Yeah, I know.
So
okay, so if he takes W, of course Ornn will lose. So
yeah, he might not. He should take W, but I mean, some players just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Okay.
So if he takes W, his wave clear is a lot better than Gangplank's Q, without a doubt. He'll just keep spamming his W.
Yeah, that's true.
With that in mind, the wave should be somewhere around here in the next couple of minutes. Now, of course, as the lane moves on, Gangplank will then start shoving Ornn in because he'll have the power to harass and stuff like that. But that doesn't matter because we're just trying to think about where we're pathing to. If we ended up here and we know the lane's going to be like this, that's a free gank. And so you would path towards top for that gank.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying when you path early, this is what we think about. And then as the lane progresses, you can start changing your path. Like, this guy's always shoving up. Well, I guess I have to path bot because there's no way we're diving a damn Ornn. That's just not happening. If you dive an Ornn and you're successful, that guy's ass, because there's no way you dive an Ornn for free. He should be extremely hard to dive. So with that in mind, you'd be like, okay, well, I guess I just ward for Gangplank and continue to path down. So understand the actual phases of when something is going to be shoved up. Instead of saying, well, one champion in particular, because there are some, like Yasuo, right? Yasuo mid is probably perma-shove. There is no way that the other laner should be able to outshove a Yasuo, especially early. But with the Gangplank lane, he's going to have to kind of go back a little bit until he gets his stuff, and then he can start pushing. So the lane has two phases in that aspect. So with this in mind, yes, you are right later, but early, we think Ornn's going to be shoving just a little bit. It's not going to be all into his tower, but it is going to be here, unless he plays it bad. But this is why we watch the lanes, because we can't really be 100% sure how something is going to work, right? So Ornn early, and then of course later on when the game progresses, it should be Gangplank. And if you see him take his Q, then obviously he's not shoving in Gangplank. The next one is mid. So when we look at mid here, we have Echo into Ziggs. Who do you think has that shove potential early?
Echo.
Yeah, definitely, right? Ziggs, once again, it's one of those two phase lanes where he will shove Echo in later. But for right now, at the early stage, Echo wins.
Yeah.
And then as far as bot lane goes, right, in terms of bot lane, we have three types. So the types of bot lanes that we have are sustain, poke, and then kill, right? And with this in mind, this shows us what lane beats what. Now, each bot lane can be all three. They can be two, they can be one, or they can just be nothing. When we look at this Ashe and Pyke lane together, not Ashe does this and Pyke does this. This is together. Look at this lane together. What type of lanes are they out of those three?
Poke and kill.
Poke and kill. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, pretty much poke and kill. All right, and then what about these two?
Sustain.
Does Braum have a shield or a heal?
Oh, no.
Yeah, right. And Senna's heal is mediocre. It's not something to say a sustain lane unless you support, because she's not really going to be using her Q to heal, but she's going to be
more likely poke.
If we look at it as poke, though, what poke do we realistically have? Do you think?
Q of Braum and Q of Senna.
Right. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. So it is a poke. Anything else, or you think that's it?
I think that's it.
Okay, so we have 2-1. Right. With this in mind, we obviously know Ashe has priority into this lane, and they're probably going to be the ones shoving up. Of course, this isn't set in stone. Players just play weird some fucking times. So with this in mind, we know this is a kill and poke lane. This means that this lane is going to be pretty fucking active. It's going to be popping off, like, early. And what we notice about these flashes burned, Braum didn't burn his, but Senna burned hers. That means she's probably going to fucking die within the first 3 to 4 minutes. If she doesn't, she's a legend, but she should be dead within the first 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5. Which means that you should be down there because you know that's going to happen. Yeah, you want to help GP, but at the same time, it's into Ornn. Who cares? He shouldn't die. But Senna will die, so you may have to change your pathing off of just that bullshit that happened because of your teammate. And that's what sucks about jungle. Everybody thinks, oh, jungle's so OP, you can affect the lane. Dude, jungle changes every minute based on how everybody plays. If your bot lane doesn't rotate into your jungle, guess what? You can't farm bot jungle. And then your bot says, my jungle sucks. Bruh, I can't farm my damn jungle. He's in my shit with you, the other bot lane. There's 3 people in my jungle, and you say, I'm like, it gets that bad, but they don't understand. And so this is why jungle is very, very hard, is because you have to learn how to think on your feet all the time. And that's what trips up a lot of junglers. Because it's one thing to be like, I want to do this. And then something messes up, and doing what you thought, it just isn't good. But you weren't thinking about anything else. So you're like, I guess I just go for it. Like ganks, for instance. Like sometimes there's a gank you want to go for, and then it's like you have no HP now because you went for a bad trade. But you'll probably gank anyway because it's like, I'm already here. That type of shit gets you killed. And so thinking on your feet, what can I do next as fast as possible is how you really outthink that jungler. All right, so this is very good. You're right about this lane. Really easy. Good job with everything. Now, let's just say we think this is kill. Let's just say, okay, well, they're kill too. Well, if we think about this, let's just use kill, for example. Well, that's a kill lane and that's a kill lane. Which lane can kill easier? Which lane is like, I don't really have to think to kill you?
Us and Pike, I think it's
Yeah,
really easier.
definitely. You just land a hook, he's fucking dead, probably.
Yeah.
Whereas with Braum and Senna, he has to land the snare, and then he has to land the Q, and then she has to get the stun. Like, it's way too much work. So whenever there's a tie, all you have to really think about is which one can do what easier, and then eventually you'll get the answer. So
Okay.
there we go. So your lane's gonna lose. How do you feel about that?
That I need to be there all the time.
Every single fucking lane's
Yeah.
gonna lose. Oh man. Okay. So the questions we want to ask is going to be question number 1. Can I get anything out of a level 2 gank? When we ask ourselves this question, we really want to understand, is it possible for us to get anything out of level 2 gank? And when we say that, we're not really thinking about getting kills. We just want to burn a flash. But if we burn that flash, can any laner realistically do anything with it? So let's say if Ornn has no flash, can Gangplank kill Ornn?
No, he needs me.
It's fucking not happening, right? Now, if you burn the flash off Echo, can Ziggs kill Echo?
No.
Not happening. You burn the flash off Ashe or Pike, can Senna and Braum kill Ashe or Pike?
No.
Right, it's not happening. They should. I mean, they can get a really lucky ass snare into a stun, and oh my god, you got the kill. But
Yeah.
like that's really slim for you to just pop out at level 2 and like tell the jungler and the other 4 players, "Hey, I'm here." So yeah, it's not worth that at all. Not at all. Now, if let's say you were on Echo's team, burning a Ziggs flash, that he's done. He's through. He's not leaving the lane. Same thing for bot lane, right? If you were on Ashe's team and you just come out level 2 after red and burn a flash, they're fucked. So that's what you want to think about. Not necessarily what I can do, but can my laners get anything out of the level 2? One more example is if, let's say, we're gonna use Irelia because that champ's busted. So if we're talking about Irelia, we know she likes to go crazy. She likes to go aggressive. She's insane. But if you burn her flash, she has to think twice. Now, not every player thinks about that. A lot of players just still fucking smash their head against the wall playing Irelia. But when you burn someone's flash, they're not going to play as aggressive because they know they don't have flash. But then it also reduces the kill potential on the enemy. Or not on the enemy, I'm sorry. On the enemy. Meaning that Irelia can't actually get a kill if Gangplank flashes. Whereas if Irelia has flash and Gangplank has flash, when Gangplank flashes, Irelia is flashing for the kill. So if you do burn her flash, she can't do that. So there's another way to kind of think about, can I get anything out of a level 2 gank? Can my teammate kill the person, or do I reduce kill potential from the enemy? Now, as far as question number 2 here.
Is this like what's called game planning? Like...
Yeah, this is just the analysis. This is just kind of what we're thinking about before we go into the game. Because this will dictate how we will lane, or how we will path.
Okay.
So which champions on my team will be good with 20 kills? So if we could put 20 kills onto anybody on our team, including yourself, who will be amazing with 20 kills?
Like only one person.
All of you guys. Everybody.
Oh, who will be? I mean, like someone can have 20 kills, 1 out of 5.
Yeah, like like out of everybody on your team, who all will be really good with 20 kills?
Me or Gangplank, I'm not sure.
So yeah, you're right. Gangplank. Anybody else? Or you think that's probably it?
Maybe Ziggs, but
okay.
That's it.
You don't think Senna? With 20 kills?
I really underestimate her. Yeah, but when she's really ahead, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Really strong.
So 20 kills on all 4 of you guys is actually pretty decent. Now, realistically speaking, which champions can get to that mark without actually having kills? By that, I mean scale. Who can scale to 20 kills without actually getting kills on your team?
Gangplank?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Me?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Maybe Ziggs.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Oh, all of them?
Yeah. Your whole entire team, you don't have to do shit and you'll win later. Literally, you don't have to do anything And you will win later in terms of like as long as nobody gets fed on their team, of
Like
course.
because we are champions that scale.
Yeah, you don't
they're
have to
strong.
force anything. There's no reason to force fights because you're going to auto lose their lane. And if they auto lose their lane, it's going to take longer for them to get to the point where they are at 20 kills.
Okay.
But let's say we do have something like Ashe, right? She's going to need that boost. Draven, going to need that boost. Lucian, going to need that boost. And that's when you start prioritizing a little bit more on those ganks to try to get them a lead. But if a champ will get that lead by themselves, don't do anything unless you have to. And we call that rotations. If you're like, oh, Gangplank, you're getting ganked and I'm coming to help you. That's a rotation. But if you're like, Gangplank, I want to set up a gank, then obviously you're just ganking. And so in this, you can just farm, steal his camps. You find him. I mean, fuck him up if you want to. But you don't really have to do much. You don't have to force much. And a lot of junglers do feel like, oh, we're losing. I have to do something about it because we're going to lose. No. You could be 0. The team could be like literally have 10-0. And it doesn't even matter. Because you don't have to do anything. You wait for the right moment to do something. Even if you're behind, because you don't have to. Now, like I said, with Draven, you're going to have to, if your team's losing, like you got to put all eggs in one basket and just pray that this dude gets kills and just like int for them if you can to get him going. Yeah. Because you can't win without like that help there. So with that in mind, everybody on our team does well with 20 kills, but we don't really have to force ourselves to give them any because they'll be fine without them too. The last one here is which side is easier to gank. So when we're looking at this, between top or bot, because you're always going to be able to play to mid because it's in the middle of the map. Between top or bot, which lane is probably the easiest to gank?
Like I think that bot will be easier because they will be solved.
Right.
But yeah, not bot. That's it. But
yeah, you're absolutely right. I think bot would be easier too. But now we have to think about our form. Which form? This is why Kayn's kind of a pain in the ass because you gotta like analyze this too. Which form is probably the best form for that team?
Red, I would say.
You said red?
Yeah.
Yeah, red definitely. So then how would you path to get that red? But then also you have to fucking come down here to gank this lane because that's what we want to play to. So we want to play towards bot, but we want to get our form, which we can realistically only get from mid and top. We can get it from bot too, but obviously if you're hitting Ashe, I mean, you're gonna get blue most likely.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah, so like the best bet is to try to path up top, do some things up here, get our form to a little bit more than the halfway mark, and then we can go bot and start ganking. Personally, I like to get the form first, but you have to really be checking that bot lane because you know, like, oh, fuck, they're probably going to end. Now, with this in mind, we know she's going to end because her flash is gone. So that option's out the fucking window. We have to path towards the bot. You can 3 camp, clear bot, whatever. We have to go down here to prevent that that death from happening because it will. Pre 5 minutes, she's going to die. Unless she's a god. So we need to be down there for that. And it sucks because she fucked up your plan. It happens all the time. You can't really do much about it. So, yeah. With that in mind, you are right. Bot side is the way to go. And then you would stop your analyzing there, so to speak. But with Kayn, like I said, you have to think about which form is probably better and then play around that specific scenario.
So if you get like the half of the form red,
a little bit more than half. A little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the most percentage is what you will get.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And then with that in mind, sometimes there's all ranged laners, and then you have a melee in their jungle, so you might have to invade and just hit. I literally would int for a form sometimes. I'm not saying do it, but I'm just saying sometimes it's like I really need my red, and you 3 lanes with right now. I have to invade constantly to get this shit. So. A really cool thing you can do though, if you really want to, is you can kind of just farm up, and if the game is going okay and it's even, just farm, and the later the clock ticks, the easier it is for you to get your form. So you don't have to try to get everything as you can, because the earlier it is, the more souls you actually need to get the form. So you want to take your time. Yeah, I played a fuck ton of Kayn. I played a fuck ton of all these champions, honestly. I don't know if that's an achievement or an embarrassment, but you know.
For us that play a lot, it's an achievement.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, if you tell that to your girlfriend,
seriously. Okay, doing good. I like this because we need to be towards top anyway to get that form. Okay, we snatches blue buff. Okay, and I don't like this. Why don't you think I like that so far? Like, what's the problem here?
Why didn't you like this?
Yeah, what do you think? What am I gonna say about that? Not the initial clear. The initial clear is fine. Why don't you think that I just like the what?
About the gank on top. Because bot doesn't have flash, and
No,
the jungler will not be there. Or
this
because that the jungler is pathing towards top.
it has to do with your trinket, and I know you're running scanner, but it has to do with. Let's just assume you don't have scanner. Like you're already planning to invade. Why buy a scanner? Or like why get it? I guess you could say. Because if you're starting down here, if there's a ward and you scan it, you didn't even scan. So like it doesn't even matter. Just having the scanner in the situation doesn't matter because you didn't scan.
Yeah.
You could
I
have
don't
placed
think
the
they
ward
would.
here with your regular trinket ward, and then you could have spotted a lot more. When you're invading and the jungler doesn't really know you're going to be doing it often, you don't need it.
Right now I have the ward or the.
You have the scanner. You have the scanner. I'm saying you
Okay.
don't need the scanner right now.
Oh, that's I think that I usually do. Like go when I start the game, I go and ward the one side.
Yeah, a
Like
lot
on
of players do that. A lot of players do that. I would say the only time you do that is if you really don't know what side the jungler will be starting on. If you really want to, just face check, just walk in with the team and just say, "Oh, he's starting bot." So then you keep it because you will get a lot more value out of having the ward here than you will having it here. We know he started bot. We've seen him.
Yeah.
So there's no way. So with that in mind, yeah. And as I said, you have scanner, but you didn't even use it, so it's ineffective anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, definitely just better. I've swapped to scanner when I'm invading and they know I'm invading, but right now there's no way they're like, oh, Kayn's invading. There's probably like they don't know. When you do it constantly and you're always killing the jungler, then you need a scanner because then everybody starts rotating. So I will say only look to really buy scanner when you know players always see what you're doing. In terms of ganks, Kayn doesn't really need to worry about wards. If you just pay attention to where the wards are, you can just go around every single one, honestly.
Okay.
If you're not playing Kayn, then obviously, they're always warding this particular area, then yes, you buy your scanner so you can make it easier to gank. But in this scenario, you don't need your scanner. You could have had that ward because we don't know what Fiddlesticks is going to do. Fiddlesticks can come right here and just walk right down to your blue buff. We don't know. Fiddlesticks could have just not went topside anyway and went to your blue buff. We don't know.
The usually clear that Fiddlesticks does is Raptors red and then full clear topside. I don't know.
Like I said, all junglers do some weird shit. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly what they're going to do, but you can assume like they're going to full clear. So you are right, he is going to full clear, but some players are just really out of their mind. They do other stuff too in a different order. But yes, he usually does full clear. Looks like he's doing red to Raptors and then maybe Krugs, or he's doing red to Raptors to Wolves. But even then, if he knows you're over here, you having a ward would be able to spot the fact that he's not here yet. He's on my shit. You would ping your team, come help, and that's a free kill.
Okay.
You get a lot more information out of this ward than you would out of what you just did. Let's just see what he did. So he's right there. And you would have known that if you had a ward there.
Yeah,
and you could have played around it. You could have been like, oh, I can just go straight to my thing and gank bot. And he's not here. So if he's here and he's not bot, that's a free, because he can't counter gank that.
Okay.
Right? But I think we're just pretty focused on that damn form right there. That shouldn't have worked. The only reason why I say so, and I have to speak hypothetically because a lot of this shit is hard to prove because it doesn't happen in your games. But just know when you get in higher elo, it will happen. This is done. He walks and he sees the blue is gone. There's two options here. He's still around or he's bot. What usually junglers will do is ward because they think you're still around. You stole his blue buff. So they usually will ward right here.
Okay.
If he did, you were fucked. But he didn't. So
yeah.
And it's as simple as putting one over the wall to see you. As simple as that. So yeah, this was one of those plays that worked because you just kind of got lucky.
Because I'm low elo or something.
Yeah, it was very, it's thought out, but I just want it to be a little bit more thought out so you're not fucked because this guy randomly shows up, right? So like I said, the execution, like I said, you're plat. You shouldn't have problems with execution. You just have problems with the timing of things. And so really think about, okay, well, if the Fiddlesticks, I took his blue, he started bot, he should be up here somewhere. If you had a ward here and you seen him clearing, then you could go for this because you know he's not moving, he's clearing.
Okay.
Should be a little bit more safer about it. You really don't want to go for plays that are just coin flippy if you really don't have enough information. Oh, look at that. She did that bot. Go fucking figure. Pre 5 minutes. I called it. I didn't even know. I'm telling you, these lanes are very easy to think what's going to happen. And as I said before, you getting a kill up there is not going to do much for GP. He'll get to that point. She will get to this point, but if she's dying constantly, she won't. Ornn won't kill him, and he won't kill Ornn. It's just going to be a really stalemate-ass matchup. But if you would have went bot, you would have prevented her from dying. And you can say, well, it's not my fault she died. You're right. It's not. It's not your fault. Your bot sucks. But for some reason, 90% of bot laners suck. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just Riot hating me.
Yeah, that's true. Like, always, when I get a good bot lane, like, I think that something happened in the world or something.
Yeah.
Like the chakra or I don't know.
Yeah, I really think it's just like fucking Riot is just like, all right, Blaker, he's on his account. Gotta give him bad teammates, bad bot lanes for sure. It obviously tilts his ass.
Yeah, like you get 10 games, only 2 games are good. Like,
yeah, it's insane. Like that's the problem with League right now. I'm not saying you can't climb. I'm just saying that every game just feels like a straight struggle. It doesn't feel like it's an even game. It feels like it's a hard game every game. And I feel like that shouldn't be the feel every game. I understand. Oh, I played 3 and the 4th game is hard. I get that, bro. But you can't have every single game feel extremely hard. It's taxing. Okay. It's super taxing. Okay, so with this in mind, I like this. You did your buff. Like, I want to do something bot. Cool. Right? Your initial thought was, I'm going to do something bot after this.
Yeah.
We know that we've seen Fiddlesticks top. What could we do?
We could continue going bot because he stopped.
What else? What would help you in the long run? Going for this kill, let's say you get one. Is that more of a long run play? Or is there one more thing you could probably do that's a little bit more of a long run play? What else can you do?
Ward.
You're right, but where? Like, what else can you do? Like, you know he's here.
Like Ward in his red buff?
Yes! Go in his jungle. Go in his jungle, see, like, oh, his camp should be spawning, because you guys, like, started the same shit, right? So his stuff should be coming up right now. With that in mind, that's 1, and then that's 2 camps. 2 camps for free, plus, did you buy a pink? You bought a pink! The man's a legend! You put a pink right there, dude? Right at the edge?
Yeah.
You see him do this? Bro, if he goes this way, he's going to his Raptors and he's probably going red, to his blue, to his Wolves. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He goes this way, he's probably gonna go gank bot. He goes this way, it's probably gonna gank bot.
So you think that I could take this Krag? How's it called? Not Krag. Scuttle?
Yeah, take the scuttle and then do it. You have enough time. He was like up top hitting tower for some fucking reason. So is he A, going to hit tower and then be like, all right, time to clear my fucking Krugs? Or is he gonna back and then go to Krugs?
He's gonna back.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. That's 8 seconds. And then it takes about 20-ish. I don't know the exact number. 20-ish seconds to get to Krugs? Bro, that's about 28 seconds. Yeah. If you can't clear 2 camps as Kayn in 28 seconds, you're gonna just stop playing Kayn. But you right? That's a lot of time. And then you can wall run? Bro, there's no way in hell he would get there in time. Right?
Okay.
So with that in mind, you get so much out of it. Because then you know what he does. You know, if you put a ward there, you knew that, oh shit, he's top side. Right? And then of course you've seen him top here. And then you go down here, put a ward here, you take a shit. And then you're like, oh, he's went this way. Okay. I could gank then. And then you gank. And then you recall. And then you do that shit again. Because next time he comes, he's lower level than you. And you can kill him. So it's free.
Okay.
All of just fucking 1 ward. You're up 2 camps. And you can get a free kill. And you know exactly what Fiddlesticks is doing. And if you know it, your teammates know it. Whether they respect it or not is fucking another thing. But
okay.
Yeah. So let's just see what he does. If we would have, because we didn't get anything out of that bot gank anyway. Okay, so look, there he is. How many seconds did it take for that to happen? I'm just curious. Okay, so if we, just before we take blue anyway, let's just say as soon as Fiddlesticks, like, let's say, okay, I wanna go into his buff. I want to go into his buff. I see him top, and you're already making your way to check his Raptors. You know what's going to be up soon. Oh, he's low as fuck. You seeing this would just know he's backing, so you can do anything with that information. All right, he's back. He starts now. It's 4:12. Let's see how long you have to do whatever you want. Almost a complete fucking minute. You're at like 50 seconds.
Yeah.
That is a lot of time, man. And then if you would have cleared it, you would have been 5. And then you would have just sat there, waited for him, chunked his ass or something. I mean, you have a lot of, you could gank mid. That's fucking free gank for your red. This could be a free gank after you're 5. You're level 5, she's level 3? Bro, that's dive. Like, you got this. But we didn't do that. And as I said, a lot of your plays are just instant gratification plays. What can I do right now that's going to satisfy me now? Not what can I do that's going to benefit the future. And that's what a lot of junglers, I didn't know that was going to happen. That's what a lot of junglers have a problem with, is they don't really think about that long term. It's just like, I need to get the kills, so then that puts my laners ahead, so then that makes it so my laners don't feed. And it's never going to be like that, because you can give this Senna 5 kills, and she could still fucking feed that shit back, right? So there's just no reason to say, I want to give these kills to these players and gank repeatedly for that. You have to focus on you. You have to make sure you're good to go, because any champ in the game that's a jungler that's not a tank, I mean, it's still arguable with the tank, but that's not a tank is going to be really like well off just by farming camps, especially because they made that a thing now, where it's like, okay, you farm, you get a lot more out of it because they spawn earlier now. So yeah, you can get a lot more out of it. So we go up top, we go for that play, nothing happens. Once again, didn't we just see Fiddlesticks down there? Or am I trolling? Pretty sure we seen him down there after you did this play.
Yeah.
We did. So then, what was the point of going bot? You should jet right over there. Take that. Path bot side.
So I should go just his jungle and take the buffs?
Yeah. It's something that I like to call the ping pong method. So try to do the ping pong method. You know the game ping pong, right?
Yeah.
The little table tennis game. Every time the other jungler does something, you do something equal or more to impact the game. We're just no, every time's 2 words. I always fuck that up. But okay, so we're going to basically say this is how a challenger game is going to run. Fiddlesticks getting spot. You're like, okay, I'm taking your shit. Fiddlesticks like, he's taking my shit. I'm going to take his shit. You're like, okay, then I'm going to go gank top. He's like, okay, I'm going to take dragon. You're like, okay, I'm going to get plates. He's like, okay, I'm going to gank bot again. At this point, you're probably fucked and you're all out of options. So then you lose. So it's a point for Fiddlesticks. And the more points he gets because you're not returning that damn hit, the more he's going to get, a free game. So let's just see kind of what you do. So he ganks bot. Do you think Fiddlesticks just got a point because you didn't do anything?
No. Yeah, he got.
Yeah, he got the point. He got the point. Yeah, he didn't do anything. All right, let's just kind of keep going, and we'll just keep going and see who gets the most points. You're ganking top. All right, let's see what Fiddlesticks does. Okay, he didn't get dragon, but he could have. Okay, you gank mid now.
Yeah, that's true.
Do we get anything out of this mid play? Nope.
No.
Okay, we go down bot for a play. Fiddlesticks tries to do something here. Fiddlesticks is like, okay, you're down there. I'm taking your camps. So you go for a gank. He takes your camps. With this in mind, we need to play. We need to hit it back. He hit it back to us. What are we gonna do?
I should go to
nothing. You didn't do anything, man.
I might have not seen him.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would explain it. Yeah, you could have gotten the dragon there.
Yeah.
I know you're extremely low, but you're king.
Yeah.
Or you could have went to for his camps. Yeah. So he got it. He got that. There's 2 points on him. 2-0. Okay, he's going to gank bot.
Because I was fighting there, I didn't see him. I'm sure of that.
Okay, that's 3. You didn't do anything. He gets 4. He got dragon and a gank. That's 4. 4-0. Okay, you're checking camps. I like it. Nothing. Kayn is... not Kayn. Pyke is shit on the guy. Jesus. Alright, you went for that play. Fiddlesticks got a free wave. Pretty sure he won that trade there. And he's already at 5-0. You didn't even do anything this game. And as much as it might seem... I'm not saying you thought it was your team, but it could look like, oh my god, my bot lane is just inting, man. I'm 2-2-1.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
didn't do anything.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Okay.
Every time that bot died, except that last time, was fiddlesticks. If you would have
Hmm.
warded this, that would have been prevented. If you would have never went for that
Okay.
planet or tower, they would have never got a lead for that kill. Long-term thought process is what you should be thinking about. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just died. It doesn't matter. Bro, you just gave a lane a lead. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that shit, but they do. Right? And it's the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
thing. Like, okay, Olaf gets a free kill, and it's on your bot lane. You're like, fuck, you guys gave Olaf a kill. They don't got to worry about Olaf. You do. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
Okay.
same thing. There's really no reason to do things if it could screw you up later. And I had this problem. For some reason, I was playing Warwick. For some reason, 60 games, no bullshit. I
Yeah.
would always die for this fucking crap. And this was back when it spawned like at like 1 minute or some shit. Like before you even did camps, it would like spawn. And then so I would do my camps and then I would go and I'd be like, help. And nobody would move. And throughout like 60 games, I kept dying. First blood every single time. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Let me just not go for this unless I know my laners can come. And then I was just like fucking winning games nonstop. And it was like, wow, that
Okay.
one
Okay.
thing like fucked me up. But I would
Yeah.
constantly think it was my teammates. Like, move your ass. But realistically, they couldn't. And so that's why it's
Okay. Okay.
important to kind of think about that long term. Because they don't need you to be forcing ganks like you were. It's fine to take those camps. Your long term is knowing where Fiddlesticks is and then taking his camps. That's the long term. You
Okay.
getting ganks isn't going to do anything. You preventing a death is different. That helps a fuck ton. But you going down here to try to get kills, and it's for a farm you don't even really want, you're forcing the
Mm.
gank. It's not a rotation. The first and the second time you came down, you forced it. You're like, oh, they're low.
Okay.
Let's go. That's not going to work. There's no reason to.
Okay.
Because this
Okay.
is not a kill lane. Even if you give them a kill, they're not killing them again. Ash and Pike are still going to kill them back to back to back, regardless of the influence you have giving them a free kill. All right, nice. I don't like this. Why don't I like this? Look at the death timers. 5 and 14. He has no TP. If you don't snatch one more damn wave and a plate, man.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
you. You might be going to Rift Trail, no? You are. All right, now think about this. Think about this. Think about this. What play has more longevity? Like, which play is going to give you more? Now, I'm not saying this is the right answer. I'm just saying, is it going to
Yeah.
be this or is it going to be Rift? Which one is probably the one to give you the most bang for your buck?
Like for the long term or
Yeah, which
now?
one?
Herald.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely fucking right. I like that. If you would have said this tower, you would have learned nothing within the first minutes we were, we were talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. It was a trick question. Yes, you're right. I like this play. I didn't know what you were going to do after. I just assumed you were going to go like maybe farm a camp or something. But I didn't know you
Yeah.
were going for this. That was just a scenario. If you have people dead, take it. But this is a good play. There's nobody that can really stop you. One thing you want to do whenever you start Rift Trail, just a side note, hit it from the back so that it smashes into the back wall. So when you're right
Okay.
there, all you do is stand there, you Q to the back, hit it in the eye, Q to the back, hit it in the eye. If someone walks
Okay.
by, they don't actually see you unless they're extremely close, like right there. So they just walk
Okay,
back
okay.
over you repeatedly. Very good for when there's a circle here that's not yours. Like they'll
Okay.
assume,
Okay.
oh, nobody's here. Another little trick you can do is if you're not playing a wall hopper like Kayn, if you walk like this and hug this wall, you're actually not spotted right here. It only works for this side of the pit. It does not work for
Okay.
dragon. So you can kind of
Okay,
get away
okay.
with that. I was watching this Korean player and he was playing Graves and this fool went over the wall with E and then walked there and then ganked top and killed him. I was like, no fucking way. No way they didn't just see you. And then I looked, I was like, they did not see him. Holy fuck. The Koreans are good as fuck. I always watch
Yeah.
their gameplays and try to like incorporate a lot of what I see into my coachings and into my videos that I make and just because they're nuts. Okay, once again, just trying to force the play. Remember, we're not here to give her the kills, right? It's not a killing. We're just here to prevent. You would have sat a little bit longer. You could have made that shit happen, though.
Yeah.
A lot, like I said, a lot of
Yeah,
your
that was
plays.
really
Are,
bad.
well, that's a good play to try to finish it before. Did you get it? You're a legend. You could probably triple kill. No way you don't. No way! No
Yeah.
way you died! Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't usually talk about the micro, but hold on. There's no fucking way you died to that. Okay, this was good. Okay. You get feared. Nothing you can do about that. Oh, you missed your Q. Okay, yeah, dude. If you would have saved that shit and did that and then... Oh, You would have fucking
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a triple, man. Ah!
Yeah,
Okay, I think a running theme with your gameplay between your mechanics and your macro is the instant gratification. You just want to pull the trigger whenever you can. You have got to learn
yeah,
to
yeah.
like pace yourself. You got to learn to be like, is this really what I need to do right now, or can I wait a couple of seconds? Stuff like that. Because
Okay.
if you keep going just off of instinct like that, there's champions that will allow it. As an example, Kayn allows it. Kayn will teach you bad habits because you can get out. You can get out of everything. Echo's the same way. Fizz, because I know you play Fizz, it's the same way. You can do a lot of bullshit plays and it still works because you're Fizz. Like, and those are champions that teach you incorrect things sometimes. And it's not bad to play these champions. I'm not saying, oh, you're just a bad player because you can't play. No. These just teach you
Yeah,
bad
yeah, of
habits,
course.
you know? And if you're not understanding that it's teaching you a bad habit, you take those into every single game. And then what happens when you're playing a champ that can't do all this crazy ass shit? You end. Like, straight fucking end. Why? Because they can't do what they can do. Like
Yeah.
that right there. If you were a normal champ, you would fucking die. Hands down. You were done.
Yeah.
Right? But you wouldn't think that. You'd be like, oh, I just got out. Woof. I made it. Man, I'm good. Like no, the champ is just strong as shit, right? He just can do a lot of things. So yeah, that's really what you got to think about a lot of times. So I definitely think, because like I said, I used to be like this too. A lot of it was just, man, I want to pull that trigger. I gotta go, dude. But just be patient. Before you go for plays, really think about the outcome. How can your play go bad, or is something going to happen in the next few seconds? So you might be thinking, like, especially in pro play, those players counter gank like hell. I have never seen a jungler counter gank another jungler so damn much other than pro play. They are on it. That guy shows up, the other jungler shows up. That guy shows up, the other jungler. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But they don't just pop out of nowhere. They farm and then they sit. They sit. I don't know if you see that, but they will sit for a while. Now, I'm not saying
No.
don't fucking farm, right? Farm. But if you clear all your camps, like I call it homework pretty much. You clear your camps. Camps are homework. When you're in like college or when you're in like high school, whatever, you gotta do all your homework first, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Same thing with jungle. You clear all your homework. You can sit there for 10, 15 seconds. Your camps are spawning. There's no reason. You're not wasting time. Because then that means you're ahead of the game. You can do whatever you want. And then when you like, oh, I'm here for 15 seconds. I'm here for 20 seconds. Oh, my camps are still spawning, whatever. And then at 25 seconds, the play happens. And you're like, I'm here. And then you get the kill. Kind of like right here, right? You sat there for about 2 seconds and you're like, all right, fuck this shit. I'm going to dragon. But imagine if you sat there for like 10 seconds. You would triple kill right there for you.
Yeah.
You damn near soloed them. So with the help of 2 teammates, that was free into a dragon. Be patient. It will come. Do not feel like, man, they are inting. I have to do something. Or man, nothing's happening right now. I have to do something. Some games are just fucking boring, bro. Some games just nothing fucking happens, without a doubt. You're just gonna be farming and just rotating and then farming and rotating. And that was gonna be this game. You didn't really have to do anything. Honestly, I think the lanes had trouble because you did something. Come to think of it, you died bot.
Yeah.
And then I don't think you died mid. Yeah, I don't think mid actually had an issue, did they? They didn't really have one. But no, yeah, bot, you definitely like gave him a free fucking kill. Okay. Why not take the wolves too? Take everything, man. Snatch the shit out of people. You want to make sure that you're bleeding them dry. You want to make sure that there's no way they can come back. If you can make it so that they cannot come back, you will win the game no matter how long the game goes. I guess that's a theory. If the game goes like 60 minutes, you're probably going to lose because there's no way in hell you should be ahead in that long.
Yeah.
But theoretically, yes. When you keep bleeding him out and he's like, oh, I can't farm my camps, and you go here and then you take these camps and then you spot him walking, you kill him. Boom.
Yeah.
Just like that. Right? So you taking his camps, putting a ward down there will let you know he has one side to play to. This one. He's going to check this side. Nothing's here, and he's going to appear here. I can farm his camps and wait for him to come in. I'd kill him again. Right? Now, for this instance, we see Dragon coming up, and that's probably what you want to play to, which is why. Why can't you just walk? Look! Look! Oh my gosh! He's right there! If your initial thought process was to get the camp and then ward, and then come down here, you would know he's not topside, and it wouldn't have been a surprise. You just would have jetted straight over here, and then sat maybe even in this bush. Or you could have put a ward here like he did, and then just sit right here. And when he walks up to ward, you smack his ass with that W and kill him. And it is free.
Yeah.
Look, he did it! Oh my god! Man, that was all you died? Because look, if you killed him and then that death happened, it wouldn't have mattered. It'd still be a 4v4. But now we're down a player when he could have been down a jungler. And I don't know about you, but when my jungler's fucking dead, I don't usually contest a dragon, especially a dead cloud dragon. True. So it would be gone. But because he's not dead, they're going to try to fight it. But guess what? You're down a player. Gangplank's not there. Ziggs isn't there. Like, you lose this fight. Hands down. We lose this fight because of us. Actually, we may win. I don't really know what the fuck happens. Let's see. Oh, we actually do win. Okay. That, I think they just misplayed. But
yeah.
Regardless, let's just say, you know, you're not a god and you didn't just pull off this play here, right? And your whole team dies. That was you. You could have made this play a 1v1 right here. You don't want to use your team as more than you have to. Okay?
So I could clear the wolves and then where should I ward?
You could just kind of ward in the same spot, kind of like right there. You don't really have to clear the wolves if you're like, I just really want to get the dragon. It's fine, but you need to make sure you're warding. I don't even give a damn. It's a pink. Put it there. So then you can see. Vision is a lot of information. Information is how you win the game.
Okay.
If the map is always dark, you can't plan a damn thing. Which is why when you see in pro play, once again, I just bring it up because they're really good at it. If there's no vision, they don't take chances. They're just like, oh, they're probably on this shit, but let's go ahead and push some towers because we already know if we walk in there, we're dead. Yeah. Vision is key, man. That is nasty, especially when you're getting into diamond. So we make this play happen, and as I said, you don't want to use your team as much as you don't want to use your team more than you have to. We all know your teammates suck sometimes, right? And you don't want them to have to try hard, especially if they are on an autofill champ or role. If they don't really know how to play it properly, you don't want to have them in the situation where they're forced to play it properly. One thing we want to do before we go for every fight, make sure we have these 3 things. Positioning, ultimates, and then resources. So what you want to really think about is the fact that not every champion specifically needs their ultimate to be effective. Gangplank, it's nice, but he doesn't need it to make his kit work.
Yeah.
You need yours. Ziggs doesn't really need his to make his kit work. Senna doesn't. Braum needs his. So before you fight, you and Braum need to have their ults. Now, as far as the positioning goes, we need to make sure that we are in the position to take a fight, right? If we go back to that dragon fight real quick, we know we were in a really shitty position. Why? Well, if we go here.
Yeah, the mid is really pushed.
Yeah.
And the bot.
He's here. You're by yourself. They can rotate. We don't know if Ornn has TP. He's just being an asshole and not TPing for some fucking reason. Like, you guys were fucked. Or you're thinking, well, I can get out of this situation. But you're not thinking about Braum. Yes, you could fucking wall hop. You could go in and heal it.
Yeah.
He can't do any of that. You make a play and it's bad, he dies. No matter if you get out or not. And that just, why give 300? There's no reason to give the 300 if you already know a play is going to go sour. So yeah, with the positioning, this is really bad positioning. But let's say, oh yeah, we're in the positioning, they're closer, we got this. Okay, we would think about ultimates. Well, I don't have my ultimate. Braum doesn't have his ultimate. We know that they just use their ultimate, of course, because we were watching, hopefully, right? But for the most part, we know that pretty much everybody doesn't really have their ultimates. So it's kind of okay, because we know they don't have theirs. But if you don't know if they don't have their ultimates, you can't make that play if you guys don't have yours. Very important to think about, because ultimates are what wins team fights. So he then ults in. Braum gets clapped, as I said he would, because, you know, he doesn't have a way to do what you do. You're just a different type of champion than he is. You go in, gets the free kill. Pyke was, for some reason, tanking you. Oh, she did have ultimate. I guess it was glitched. Look, and then he, like, imagine if Gangplank just didn't have ultimate right there.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be able to do all that damage. Like I said, he doesn't really need it, but it's nice to have. You don't have your ult. Ziggs doesn't have his ult. Like, that just would have been a much harder fight. And if Ashe would have actually landed her shit properly, and Pyke, of course, didn't just sit there and let you hit him like he's the fucking tank. He has electrocute. Why did he even sit in front of you then? I don't know. That's awkward. We're not talking about Pyke. But yeah. The positioning, right, and the ultimates, like, if you don't have those, we can't move on. We need to have all 3. If we don't have one, we can't do anything. And then resources, of course, you guys are all healthy, so that's not really a concern. Resources is mana and HP. All right, so we see Echo top. This fight right here, are we in a good position to take this fight?
We can take this fight.
Yeah, one's dead. Oh, I thought we killed one. I lied. Who died? Oh, it was Ziggs. But Echo's here. Fiddlesticks is there. There's no way you don't win this. So you take this. Even though it's not a foreign objective, it's a fight you could actually influence. So you take it. Right? And yeah, we get it. And we get out. Cool. Perfect. And we keep pushing. Yep, we want to push. I like this. Are you going to sit in the bush? Okay. You just want to be mean to Fiddlesticks and take his shit. That works too. We get the tower, right? So this is fine.
Yeah.
Now we want to leave. But now because we didn't really ping our team the next play, they just kind of default to like, well, I guess I just go for the next tower then, because I guess that's the best play here, which it's not. You got the tower, leave. It's okay. So now this play happens. Everybody's fucking dying, per usual. It's overstay. So
Yeah.
if you really want to kind of carry these games harder, you got to really make sure that you're influencing with pings. So use your pings to tell players what to do and not to do. Ping every single play. And what I mean by that, yeah, tower, tower, tower. Good. And before they take the tower, ping them off the tower or like ping them back so they know, okay, after tower, I back. Because what happens if you give them that little sliver of like thought process, they will take that shit and run with it, right? If you are pinging like the dragon and then you're like, okay, Baron. And then if you don't ping like reset or type reset, the ADC is going to just start farming some fucking lane for some random reason. And then like the mid laner is going to start farming. And it's like, bruh, if y'all just reset, we can end the game. But I got to get my eye. Like you weren't telling them what to do. You gave them that 5 to 2 second window to be like, okay, you guys are able to use your own brain. And then you let them think. And it's a problem when they don't main the champion or the role because they're not at that level. If I put you on support, are you going to be a plat 2 level support?
No.
Exactly. Exactly. So why are you allowing these guys to basically think for themselves if we know that these guys most likely don't know how to play their champs or their roles? You've got to be dictating these games. Because they stayed because you stayed. You stayed because they stayed. It's like, fuck it. So nobody really knows who to listen to in this situation. Alright. Same situation here, positioning wise. Do you think this is capable to take this fight? Like, do you think it's probably better to ping them back, or do you think it's like we can take this for sure? Like right here, is it better to ping Ziggs back, make him not use his brain, or let this play out until we get there?
I think it's doable because both Senna and Gangplank has ulti and Ziggs. I don't know.
Well, Gameplay's over here and Sin is over there, and on top of that, we have to assume that there's 4 other champions in the fog somewhere. We don't know where. We just had it. They're somewhere. So there's 4 champions. That's 5 champions versus 1 right now. Ziggs is going to be 2. You're going to come in late, and that's 3. So that's a 5v1v1v1. Do you think that's a smart idea to take?
No.
Exactly. It's not. Now, you might make something happen. Maybe, like I said, a lot of League of Legends is fucking all over the place, but you never know. Okay, so Ziggs, does he die? No, he gets a kill. You get clapped. Senna's still late as hell. Okay, Ziggs dies. Okay, Gangplank dies. Oh, but Gangplank got the kill. Let's go. Alright, so we lost tower, and we basically killed our teammates for a play that didn't matter. If we could have just pinged them back, and we could have kept Ziggs alive. We killed our teammates and ourselves. And on top of that, we lost the tower.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gold, just because you made one play instead of just pinging that guy back. And that's what happens. And if it happens on repeat, which it has been, you just get worse and worse into that gold debt, and then you just lose the game. But then you think like, oh my god, why did you get caught? Bro, you fucking let Ziggs walk in there, and then you allowed Gangplank to walk in there, and then you die.
By the way, the support is it was duo with me, and we were talking on Discord, so I don't know what I was talking to.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's the problem though. When I do with people, sometimes there's a lot of dumb shit I'll do because they're the duo and they're like, I trust you, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck was I thinking trying to help you? You're straight up dead. But yeah, no. It definitely just wasn't a good play to go for because you just have them dead. And then, luckily they backed out. But you see how the Braum was on board, and then Ziggs was on board with Braum, and then Senna was on board with Ziggs. Like everybody was following everybody. And that's just what happens. Yeah. League of Legends is a very domino effect game. Have you ever played any game or read any books where it's like you choose your own adventure? So something like The Walking Dead, where you like choose a choice, and then later on in the game, the choice affects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The story.
That's how League is. You make one choice, you're gonna have to deal with that effect, whatever it might be. Okay, I dove down bot. I got a kill, but I died. Well, you gotta live with that. That person that got that kill on you just has 200 gold now. And it might not seem apparent early that this guy's gonna be a bitch later. You just think like, oh, it's only one kill. And then the guy stomps bot lane. And you're like, what the fuck? You only thought about that 300. You didn't think about what's gonna happen later. And that's the problem. That's why you see a lot of Dravens fucking go in like crazy, because they know even if they die, they get a few kills. They're thinking about the long term. They're not thinking about like the right now. It might look like they're inting, but they have to sometimes to get that lead. So I think that pretty much is kind of the staple of your play. I just think you're pulling the trigger too much. I just want to make sure that we're fast forwarding just to kind of see if there's anything else that I miss. I think we're pulling the trigger too much, and I also think we're not really thinking about who's with us and how the play is going to work. So I want to make sure that when we make our homework here.
Okay, that was a bad game.
That's all right. That's all right. We still noticed a lot of the stuff. So we want to make sure that we are analyze every single game. We want to make sure that, okay, I know how this lane's going to play out. I know how this lane's going to play out. I know how this lane's going to play out. Take your time. Don't try to do all three at one time. Just, okay, I'm going to path towards top. All right, then how's top going to work out? So that then you're like, okay, I'm focusing on top. It's going to work out this way. Then when you get better, think about mid. Then when you get better, think about all three lanes. And then when you get better, think about the jungle too, right? Then what we also want to think about is number 4, for sure. We need to make sure that we're ping pong methoding, meaning that when the jungler does something, we have to do something too, whether it's better than them or equal. Because if it's not, we're just going to lose out. As I said, Fiddlesticks didn't do shit really in terms of just ganking bot lane. But because every time he did something, you didn't do anything about it, he just got it for free. And he just kept building the lead. So yeah. And then the next one here is going to be the last one. And I think it's just, actually I lied. It's number 5 and 6, both of them. Number 5 and 6 go together though. You should be thinking about number 6 when you're thinking about the play in general. You know, think about how the play is going to work, how is it going to play, how is it going to go bad, or if it's going to go out in the next couple of seconds. There's actually a new game that I played, and the only reason why we won that game is because I was always a step ahead of every single player in that game. And I'm not saying I do this shit every time, but sometimes I'm hot, just like you. Sometimes you're on fire, and you're like, holy shit, I'm beasting on these fucking trash cans, right? Everybody has those moments where they're really, really good. And so it was just one of those times where I was just like, oh, I'm doing amazing. And I would like be down bot when I have to. I know it was a Yasuo Malphite lane. Fucking nasty. And so I was like, okay, when they hit 6, they're probably gonna and kill my bot lane. So I was down at 5, and then as soon as they turned 6, they went all in. And I was right there and I prevented it. Lucian, they going against the Fiora. I knew they were trading and I knew it was gonna go fucking crazy. I was up there at level 2, and when Fiora tried to get the kill somewhere around here, I rolled up. Lucian had 10 HP, no bullshit. I saved his ass and we killed Fiora. And that's just the type of level you can be on. Like I said, I don't do that shit consistently, but challengers do. But that's the type of level you can be on consistently if you actually work at it and you actually keep trying to think about things before you do it. You're so trigger happy right now that you can't learn from what you do, because it's either, oh, I shouldn't have went for this play, and that's why it was bad. But you don't know. Because you do good plays. Like, the execution's great. It's just the timing. And you can't learn if you're not thinking about the timing. You're thinking about the execution. Oh, I shouldn't have went bot and died. Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't have fucking died. But does that mean you shouldn't have went bot? Maybe it was a good play. You just fucked it up. I mean, now we're stuck, right? So I think definitely... you do have, like I said, what it takes to get to that diamond. It's just a lot more of your macro than your mechanics. You really just have to be thinking ahead of the game. You cannot play like instantly. You cannot play, there's a word I'm looking for, but I'll use it instantly. You can't play every instance without thinking. Like I said, you play a ton of Fizz, and I've seen your Fizz. A lot of your plays are, boom, I'm going in. I don't give a fuck. Boom, I landed fish. I'm going in. I don't give a fuck. And obviously, that's not the way you want to play. You want to be like, boom, I landed a fish. Oh, fuck, I can't go in, though, because I'm not going to get that kill. And you wait. And then it's like, oh, I can get it now. And then you go in, even if you don't have fish. Like, that's how it should be. You need to be thinking a couple of steps ahead of your plays so that you know if it's going to be bad before you go for it. Because if you like watch your replays back, you'll be like, what the fuck did I just do? You knew it was bad before you went for it. So a little exercise that I tell players they can do, you don't have to do this, but just an exercise is pull open some challenger games, or you can pull up some friends games, whatever you want to do.
What I do is usually I watch a YouTuber that how's it called? Not describes, like rates the game of a challenger.
Well,
Like
the thing about that though is they're already explaining, and the thing is like sometimes they're saying a specific scenario or a specific situation. What I'm saying is like just go ahead and go to your go to ranked here, and then you go to solo. There should be like a top solo and duo. Oh, it's right here. No, it's not. It's not there for me because I'm not like ranked right now on this account.
Yeah,
it's on level 2. But there is like a top solo. And then you click that, and then what you're gonna do is just pick anybody. Obviously there's gonna be a jungler in their fucking game. Doesn't matter. So just pick anybody. And then just kind of watch a jungler. Doesn't even have to be your main. Just watch it. And then like before a play happens and you see marks, like go to a regular like, oh, there's like 4 dashes. Okay, I click right before it. And then before that play happens, pause it and be like, how's this play gonna work out? He's gonna go do that, and he's probably gonna do this, he's gonna do that. And then you play it. Holy fuck, he didn't do anything I said. Right? And that's how you're able to really start thinking ahead. Like, why the hell are you able to, what were you thinking about? And it's just a very easy way to test your knowledge of what's going to happen before it happens, especially when it comes to laners being suicidal. As I said, I knew bot lane was going to die. That shit is not me being a god. I've just seen it 30,000 times already that I'm just aware of it now, right? And so, it helps a lot when you can do it on repeat without actually playing the game. When you pull up on a challenger game, you can just keep doing it and just kind of keep practicing without losing LP because you're just practicing it over and over and over. Obviously, the laners in Challenger play differently than in your elo, but you can still have some type of idea about how the lane's going to work out.
Yeah.
Anywho, I held you for longer than I should have. I do apologize.
No, I want to tell you something more.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead. I was going to say, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, no. I would like to buy 1 more hour, like for now. Can you do it?
Oh, you want to connect an hour with this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead and link that, and then I'll go ahead and in the video, so it's not a 2-hour video, and then you can do another one, or we can keep it going.
So I'll go to the, how's it called, this site?
The Gamer Sensei site.
Yeah.
All right, let me conclude this here. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it.
I don't know, should we watch another replay or should I play one more? If you
guys would like to have a free coaching session, I said 200 subscribers, and we'll get those down. If you guys would like free VOD reviews, it will be on Sunday in my Discord. A channel's gonna open up saying free VODs. Feel free to put your op.gg in there. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and thank you for approaching this like a coach. See you guys next time.